Hi, and welcome to the Society of Women Engineers FY20 Individual Awards Training. My name is Ashley Keplin. I am the FY20 Awards Chair for the Society of Women Engineers. We're going to talk about some general information for collegiate and professional awards, some awards packet updates for FY20, how to complete a nomination, the responsibilities of a nominator, tips for applying, some frequently asked questions, and then we'll quickly go through some screenshots of the application tool. Please note that the current individual awards packet from the SWE website overrides any statements made in this presentation. In case we make any errors, the awards packet overrides any discrepancies there might be. Some general information. To find the individual awards packet, go to swe.org/awards/individual-awards, and you'll see a link to the FY20 individual awards packet. The individual awards program has two types of awards. There's professional awards and collegiate. The awards that are highlighted in this yellow color are awards that require SWE membership for nominees, and there are two awards that are denoted by 3 asterisks, and those are new awards for FY20. It's the Diversity and Inclusion Program and the Patent Recognition Awards. So the award packet updates for FY20, we added a line in the disqualification criteria to state that formal statement shall not include graphics, charts, or pictures. And that's true of the formal statement and supporting documents. If it says don't include graphics, charts, or pictures, then don't include them. They will lead to disqualification of your application. The Diversity and Inclusion Award was added this year. It recognizes an individual or company who has pioneered a diversity and inclusion program within their organization. The second new award is the Patent Recognition Award. This recognizes SWE members who have been awarded a patent within the previous 3 years from the award application deadline. So the date that we're using for that 3 years to qualify for the Patent Recognition Award is the patent granted date, which is the date the U.S. Patent and Trade Office officially grants the patent. So this should be within 3 years of the award application deadline, which is March 31st. For the first year of this award, applications will be accepted for patents that have been granted within the past 10 years. And we also wanted to note that the Patent Recognition Award may be received in conjunction with any other SWE awards. There were some changes to the Achievement Award. So the objective wording went from outstanding to significant and progressive technical contributions. And the selection criteria wording changed from, added participation in any industry committees to the publication's selection criteria. All right, how to complete a nomination. So first step is to access the individual awards packet, which we explained earlier, and select the award that best suits the candidate. Then verify the candidate meets all the qualification requirements. Select all items listed in the nomination checklist in the awards packet, and fill out the application online. Each award has a unique link that's listed in the individual awards packet. And the final step is to submit the completed application by March 31st at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. There are no exceptions made for late packages out of fairness to all of our applicants. All right, as we talked about, download the individual awards packet from swe.org. In the packet, the nomination checklist for each award has a link to the SmarterSelect application tool, as shown in the screenshot there. So once you click on that link, it'll open SmarterSelect, which is our nomination tool. You can use SmarterSelect to preview your application, start a new application, revisit an existing application, nominate more candidates, and the Smart Select tool will also send email notifications for things like incomplete package reminders. The preview application button allows you to see what information is going to be requested before you start a nomination package. A quick note here, when you're applying, the formal statement this year as well as last year will be copied and pasted into a text box in Smarter Select. So we recommend you use Control-Shift-V to paste only the text. If you use just Control-V for pasting, you will paste in some funky formatting from your Word document. So using Control-Shift-V will make sure your text copies and pastes into a format that is easier for the judges to read. Another note here is this text box truncates your formal statement at the maximum number of words. So make sure you scroll all the way down to the bottom and that you haven't had anything cut off. We do this to eliminate people getting disqualified for going over word count. So the tool does not allow you to paste more than the maximum number of words. So be aware of that. For years of experience, we've added some allowable characters to the text box for years of experience. We use the information that you provide in this years of experience box, as well as the formal statement and your resume, to check the stated years of experience that you put in this box. You now have 200 characters to explain any special circumstances in your years of experience calculation that you think might not be clear from your formal statement and your resume. So if there's anything kind of out of the ordinary that you want to make sure we know, you can put it in that box. Some more notes on Smarter Select. You'll need to create a username and password. If you created one in a previous year, you can go ahead and use that again and submit something new this year that follows your year to year. Each application has a unique ID number, so take note of that so you can go back and update or modify or change an application for an individual. The app ID is an 8-digit number, and you'll be able to see that when you first go in and create a draft application. And there's some screenshots later on that show you where that is located. And if you're submitting for multiple nominees, please make sure you make note of their application numbers so you don't confuse or mix up their nominations. Responsibilities of a nominator. So to complete a nomination, all packages have to be submitted electronically using the correct link to Smarter Select. Formal statements will be copied directly into the tool again this year using Control-Shift-V. Supporting documents must still be submitted as a Word or PDF document in Smarter Select. Individuals are allowed to receive only one award per year, with the exception of the Patent Recognition Award. Incomplete nomination packages or nomination packages that don't meet requirements will be disqualified. Several awards have requirements for years of experience. It's the nominator's responsibility to calculate this information prior to submitting the nomination and making sure that the candidate meets the award requirements. Packages have to be submitted online through the correct application tool link, and all letters of recommendation have to require some form of proper authentication from the author. And we'll talk about that a little bit farther on. So a note again to submit the complete application by March 31st at 11:59 p.m. Central. Complete the nomination form as accurately as possible. Submit all required materials. It's also the nominator's responsibility to inform the nominee of the results of their nomination, and check back in the awards packet for more details. Recipients of awards are presented at the WE conference in the fall. Notifications will start going out to nominators on July 1st and should be completed by July 31st. As a nominator, if you don't receive a notification by July 31st, we ask that you contact the awards program manager at awards@SWE.org and inquire about the status of your nomination. Nominators are responsible for providing the correct information on the nomination form for the nominee and the nominator in case we need to reach you. And feedback will not be provided on award submissions. Tips for applying, some general notes. Plan ahead. Many of the nominations take a long time to put together, so you don't want to be scrambling at the end. Ask questions. Feel free to talk to people that have previously applied to awards and won awards. And contact me if you have any questions at awards-chair@SWE.org. I'm always happy to answer any questions people have during the nomination process. Read all the requirements very carefully. Incomplete nomination packages or packages that don't meet those stated requirements will be disqualified. And make sure you use the correct application link. We see this not super often, but enough that we feel like we need to say it a couple times in here. Use the correct SmarterSelect application link. If you apply for Emerging Leader in the Achievement Award, you're going to be disqualified. So we want to avoid that. Some things to consider. Judges come from a variety of backgrounds and some of them review quite a few packets. The judges are only going to score the material presented, and don't assume that they know things like what your programs are, what your position title means, and what an acronym might mean. Make sure to include information that clearly demonstrates that you meet the requirements, but try to be concise. The judges are reading a lot of packets, and you want to make sure that they understand what you're trying to say. So state things clearly and concisely, and don't add additional words just to meet the word limit, and definitely don't go over word limit. Give measurable information to demonstrate to the judges that the candidate has made an impact relative to the selection criteria. I mentioned disqualification quite a bit. We have a box of disqualification criteria listed on page 2 of the awards packet. Make sure you review this list before submitting your application. These are things that we see happen somewhat frequently, so we compiled them all into a list to try to call your attention to them. So make sure you review this and that you've got everything covered before you submit your application. All right, some frequently asked questions. For years of experience, we get a lot of questions. So what counts? Years of experience are counted as full-time or part-time postgraduate work experience as of December 31st. So for FY20, for awards that are being submitted by March 31st, 2020, the work experience counts as of December 31st, 2019. Each advanced technical degree obtained while not working full-time counts as 1 additional year of experience. Each advanced technical degree obtained while working full-time counts as the years of full-time experience, so you don't add that additional year. And postdoctorate experience does count towards years of experience. What doesn't count? Periods of unemployment do not count. Co-op time does not count towards years of experience, even if your company counts co-op towards years of service. And an MBA or any other non-technical graduate degree will not count for extra years of experience. We've got some examples here. So the first scenario, you graduate with a bachelor's degree. During that time, you intern or co-op for 2 semesters, and your company service time counts that as 6 months. You've worked for 4 years full-time after graduation, went back to school for a technical master's and technical PhD full-time while working part-time for 4 years, and you worked 3 years part-time after graduation. So this totals up to 9 years of work experience. You've got 4 full-time years after your bachelor's degree. The co-op stuff does not count. You have 1 additional year for your technical master's and 1 for your technical PhD while working full-time, or working part-time, sorry. And then you have 3 years of part-time experience after. So that's your first 4 years full-time, 1 year for each of your 2 technical degrees, graduate degrees, and then 3 years part-time afterwards. Scenario number 2, you earn a bachelor's degree, work 4 years full-time, go back to school part-time for a technical master's while working full-time for 3 years, go to school for an MBA and while working full-time for 2 years, stay-at-home mom for 1 year, go back to work for 3 years. Your total comes to 12 years of work experience. So you've got those first 4 years of full-time experience plus 3 years of part-time technical masters while working full-time. So that counts as full-time work. And 2 years during your MBA, those count as full-time work. So just the 2 years. And then 3 years of full-time after. So your 2 degrees in this scenario don't count separately because you were either working full-time or they were non-technical, like an MBA. All right, letters of support. So is it necessary to obtain new letters of support each year if we are resubmitting a candidate? What we recommend is that if the nomination is more than 1 year old, that you update the letters of support. If you submitted the same nominee last year, then it's likely that not too much has changed, and you're welcome to use that letter again. But if it's more than a year out, then there's probably some extra stuff that could be added to strengthen up your nomination, so we'd recommend updating those letters. Why do letters need to be signed, and what does signed mean? So all letters have to be signed so that we know that the letter came from the person who's sending in their support. So acceptable forms of a signed letter are a PDF or scanned JPEG with a recommender's signature, a PDF or a JPEG of an email chain showing that the nominator received the letter from the recommender. Nominators should certify and maintain documentation in case we request it. Is there more credit given to more recommendations? No, we're looking for quality versus quantity. So as long as you provide the minimum requirement, you're good. So just make sure that you're not submitting more than the number that we allow. So if we allow 3 to 4 recommendation letters, you can submit 3 or 4, but don't submit 2 and don't submit 5. Does the nominator have to be a SWE member? Yes, in some cases. So the Outstanding Collegiate Member Award has a requirement that the nominator must be a SWE collegiate member or a faculty advisor or a SWE member. So this is a case-by-case basis. Make sure you read your awards packet clearly or thoroughly, and it will state whether or not the nominator needs to be a SWE member. The other question we get is, can I nominate myself? Technically, you can, but we do highly recommend that you find someone to be your nominator and to be the point of contact. What we've seen is that applications with separate nominators tend to have a better prepared nomination and receive higher scores. We recommend that you ask your local SWE organization, a local section or member-at-large organization, or somebody at your company to nominate you. SWE membership requirements. So if the individual is employed by a corporation that's a member of SWE, but the individual is not a member, are they eligible for SWE membership required awards? No. The individual has to be a SWE member and have their own SWE member number. So if that person is not allotted a corporate membership from their company, they need to sign up for SWE themselves to be considered a SWE member and to be eligible for SWE awards that require membership. Nominee requirements. Does the candidate have to have an engineering degree? So review the awards packet for the award that you're going for. Some examples are emerging leader does not require an engineering degree as long as the nominee has been working or actively engaged in an engineering or technology profession. The collegiate member awards obviously don't require an engineering degree. They just have to qualify for SWE membership, and as a member, they qualify to be nominated. Do we accept submissions for international candidates? Do they have to work in the U.S.? So yes, we do accept submissions from international candidates. They don't have to be working in the United States. They just have to meet the requirements stated within the award criteria. For the Rodney D. Chip Memorial Award, is it better to submit as an individual or as a department, organization, or company? The Rodney D. Chip Award is open to individuals and departments or companies. So either can apply, but what we've seen is individual candidates have traditionally had stronger applications than groups. What is a SWE resume? A SWE resume is a list of all of the activities, projects, leadership roles that the candidate has done within SWE on the local, regional, or society levels. So this is a separate resume from your professional resume, and it's meant to provide the judges with some more SWE-specific information than would normally be put on a professional resume. Not everybody can fit all of their SWE experience on their professional resume, so this is just another tool to show the judges how active you are with SWE. The SWE resume is not required for all awards, so check out the awards packet to see if your award requires a SWE resume. It's recommended for some awards that aren't required to allow the applicant to show SWE involvement, like in the Distinguished New Engineer Award. So the SWE award is optional for some of the awards, so you can choose to submit or not. Any recommendations for universities, government agencies, small engineering firms, etc., in making submissions or nominations? Our recommendation is to work with your local SWE section officers and members, or people who are involved in SWE that work for your company. They might understand SWE a little bit better than a company designee who's not familiar with SWE, and might be able to pull an award packet together and help find suitable candidates. You can find local sections at SWE.org, and there's more information on here. Just reach out if you have questions and we'll help you out. All right, so we've got application tool supporting material. This is screenshots of SmarterSelect. So this is what to expect when you're going into SmarterSelect to submit a nomination. So there's some nominee information, nominator information, the years of experience, the attachments, so the formal statement, like we noted, use Control-Shift-V here and make note of the maximum number of words allowed. Biography, resume and SWE resume, and then confirmation. So here you can click Save to save your progress and return later. This will open up a page that shows the program that you've applied for and the application ID. So this is the 8-digit application ID that you should make note of and come back to later to complete your application. To revisit the application, open the SmarterSelect link for your chosen award from the awards packet and sign in. This will open up the My Applications, and you can find the correct app ID there. So it comes in really handy to make note of that application ID if you've submitted apps before or if you're submitting for multiple nominees. Once you're done, you'll get to number 5, confirmation. Instead of hitting save, you'll hit submit, and then you're done. So if you have any further questions after going through these slides, feel free to send an email to awards-chair@swe.org. Thank you for your time and good luck.